that you have.
I want to know why it bothers you. Why does it bother you?
Oh, I'm sorry, me?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Do you have a son or a daughter?
I have 2 girls.
You have 2 girls. Okay. Hypothetically, let's say, how old are they?
They are almost 11 and 13 years old.
Okay, God bless. You guys putting this on the internet?
Yes.
All right. Let's say your kids go up to you, 11 and 13. They're transgender, they tell you, and they would like to start as soon as possible with hormone blockers. And you, in your own belief, you say no. Do you know the rates of suicide among preteens and teens who identify as transgender and they commit suicide because their parents will not let them live the life they want?
I do, and this is the number one thing I hear every time I have these conversations.
I'm just wondering.
And it's true that suicidality is higher among these kids. It's even higher among kids with autism, anorexia, kids with borderline personality disorder. It's not true that there's an epidemic of actual suicides, but we do need to help these children. But with an anorexic girl who thinks she's overweight, who's threatening to kill herself, we don't agree and give her a liposuction. We help her with her mental health struggles. To stop the development of a child, a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, sterilize a child, cut off the breasts of a young girl is completely and utterly insane. And we have all these girls now, because it is a lot of girls who are
Children are children.
in their late teens and early 20s with deep regrets. And they have medical complications for the rest of their life.
Can I say something? Children are children, they're not adults. And I have 6 children.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, what they're thinking about at 13, they're not thinking about at 17.
No, what I was thinking at 13, I wasn't thinking at
24. Exactly. So we need to let them grow up.
No,
That's what we need to do.
I get it.
Let children be children.
I'm 18. I don't think the same things that I thought when I was 11, 12, 13. I get it. I just want to know.
Most teenagers are depressed, you know that, right?
I have depression. I'm on Prozac. So
Okay, so
I do know.
it's not just about sex.
Yeah. I just think. I just want to know if your daughters came up to you, if your kids came up to you, and you didn't agree to put them on hormone blockers.
Right.
Do you at least, in some sense, accept their identity?
So, no,
I don't.
No.
So here's the question: what does it mean to be transgender?
So transgender, actually, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not too well researched myself. But it is in fact a medical condition where the brain you are born with, because boys and girls do biologically actually have different brains. And it's scientifically proven that transgender people, for the most part, have different brains than their assigned sex at birth, right? Abnormalities happen in birth all the time.
So that is a myth, I'm afraid. But I don't want to argue with you here today, but that's a myth.
Just
It's not considered mental illness, it's a biological issue that happens with chromosomes at birth.
No, I'm afraid not.
So I think it's the big power of choice that the children are given today. Because I have 2 different generations of children. I think the difference is the power of choice. And if I could do everything I wanted to do when I was a kid, I wouldn't be who I am. Like, we cannot allow the kids to make a choice before they're 18 or 21. We just can't. We need to let them grow up. They can want to be what they want to be, but to give them something like blockers, that's just too solid. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair.
About half the kids that are transitioning today are on the autism spectrum. Every single one of these kids have some underlying mental health comorbidity that isn't being treated. The standard today is to practice what's called gender-affirming care, or affirmation only, where on the very first appointment, they're simply affirmed as being the opposite sex and they're given puberty blockers for cross-sex hormones.
Personally, I don't know anyone who's transgender that was immediately given puberty blockers. I know a lot of transgender people. I don't know any that were immediately given hormone blockers, and most of them are around my age. They've been out for a few years now.
How old are you?
I'm 18.